Hi guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast Q&A episode today. Um, do you want to give us an update, mate, before the Q&A? I know you were obviously chatting to me about your knee.
Yeah, we need to actually start recording these. Me and Finn, because we don't see each other now in the gym. We chat for like 20 minutes before we actually get on these. So we basically already done a
I
podcast.
know,
So
there's a
we
fair few things we probably can't really have said, and
I don't know, mate. If I want to go into detail regarding any of them or
I'm on about what we were just on about.
okay, yeah, fair enough. Business stuff and funny business stuff. Anyway, yeah, I'm all good. Got a knee injection tomorrow. So it's a ostenal injection. I have no idea what it is. I had
No
it
idea
just
what that means.
yeah. I googled it and it said it was good. And it's not extremely expensive. It's a few hundred quid, which is nice because the last one was like plus the console like 700 quid, which did nothing. So yeah, I've got an injection tomorrow. I've got to drive to Burnley, which I think that's where originates from or nearby, if I'm not
It's near
mistaken.
Manchester, isn't it?
I didn't think Burnley was 2.5 hour drive from Loughborough.
It's literally, it's very, very, well, as far as I'm aware, very close to Manchester. Are you training?
No, I won't be able. You can't train after an injection for a few days, which is annoying because I've got the meetup as well. So I'll probably just go to arms on Sunday. But yeah,
I'll
I've got
join
the.
you.
What'd you say, sorry?
I'll join you.
Yeah, I was going to arms beforehand. So yeah, I've got knee injection tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that's good. The guy that came up to me was a lovely fellow who said that he followed me, and it's funny because like obviously we train at well we Finn trained, but you train at a gym, and I've never spoken to him in my entire life. Like the only thing I probably ever said is like, "You're right, mate," when I've like crossed him on the
Would I
stairs.
know who it is?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like he's pretty jacked to be fair. He's I'm not sure if he watches. If you are, thank you, mate. But yeah, he just came up to me saying, "Hey man, I listened to your story. I had a similar thing. The Dean wouldn't go. I had this, and this. It sounds similar. Have you thought about trying this injection?" And I was like, "I've never heard that in my life. Type it on my phone." And then I sent it to my mum, and I just said, "Can you?" Because I was training. I was like, "Can you have a search and see if there's any like private near me or whatever one of these?" So she had like a list. And I just called them up afterwards and then got that booked in, which is hilarious because he was saying he boxed or something. I think he said he boxed. He said he went through like his boxing coach through the NHS, and it was like he was like, yeah, it might take some time. And when you go private, as long as you've got the money, they're like, yeah, Sam, we'll get you in. Like they were
It
sitting,
is crazy, isn't it? Especially when it's only a few hundred quid. It's like when
yeah,
people, when people go to like the NHS for physio,
yeah.
and it's like you could probably go to a physio for 60 quid, like
I had
to
a
have an initial like consultation session.
oh yeah,
People wait 6 months.
I had a client. I don't coach him anymore, unfortunately, because of his injury. He tore his ACL and his MCL, and he only found out.
Probably because his training was shit.
Yeah, it was because of his trade. It's too many yeah buddy sets. That he
Yeah, I want you doing a yeah buddy leg press, but make sure your knees go like in and out as much as you possibly can.
yeah. Just I don't know. Try imagine you doing like a step over during it,
Imagine
like
you're skiing
yeah,
on the leg
yeah,
press.
perfect. That's what it is. That's yeah, buddy leg press. What it seems to be what some people would say. So yeah, so basically, he had it done. He did all of that in like November, and he just found out. He messaged me a week ago, being like, "Hey mate, update. Yeah, this is what I've done." And I sent him a message being like, "Fucking hell, man! Like, scare. It took this long. It took him 3 months to find out he's done it." And it's like he's a young lad. He's less than 20. There's no chance he'd have enough money, to go private. So
It's
that
sad,
took
isn't it?
2 months for a scan. Now he's being referred to a consultant, but that'll be another 2 months. And then by the time he's booked in for surgery, it'll probably be like September. So it'll be like a year close to, that he's actually, and then it'll be a year recovery. Which I imagine, like, again, luckily, his name's Archie. He was a really nice guy. And I imagine I'll coach him when he's fully fit. But, like, if he was wanting to compete as like a junior, he's 19 or 20. I can't remember how old he is. I have to get sheets up. But, like, that puts him back a good amount. And if he had that happen in 5 years where he's got a bit of money, you just pay for it privately. But it's scary, is it? So, isn't it? So, yeah, booked in for that for tomorrow, which hopefully that does me good. Got the meetup this weekend, so Team R Fit meetup. Got a fair few people coming, which is going to be mint. And then otherwise, lease signed for the gym by my mum. Hopefully, we're getting the keys soon. Like from what people probably seen, they probably think we already have the keys, but
I
lease is
know
taking.
so many people keep asking me that. When are
Yeah,
you opening it? I'm like, maybe we don't have
yeah,
the keys yet.
yeah. We don't have the keys, so yeah. Fingers crossed we get the keys soon, which I imagine we will do. And then we can crack on with that. So yeah, everything's all good. Finn, life all right? Not too bad.
I was ill.
Yeah,
Well, I think I
yeah,
spoke about it on the last one.
yeah. That was the first day where you were like dragging yourself out of bed to be somewhat
A
acceptable.
human. Yeah. No, to be fair, I've trained twice. And upper was sound because obviously it's not like upper session, not that demanding. Um, just did less volume, and then I did legs, and like even like 3, 4 sets in, I was just battered. To be fair, I did a squat press set, and it was actually a really good set, but it fucked me up. Like I was planning on doing a belt squat afterwards, and I did not do the belt squat. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Uh,
Legs is it really like does show when you're not 100%, doesn't it? Like,
oh mate, 100%. Yeah, like I literally even getting switched on for the set, like. Not saying that it was like I felt it. I felt ill getting switched on for the set. Like it was just a bit harder to actually get switched on. And then the set was really good, but then after the set, it took me probably like 3 times as long to like actually come down and recover from it. Went upstairs to do the booty builder, and then I was like, right, I was going to do a belt squat and a machine RDL. And I was like, I'm not doing the belt squat. I'll just do the RDL. But yeah,
you know,
like
when you're and you just don't want to do hard shit. Like you just like I
yeah,
really
mate, like that.
not so
That
much.
feeling is horrible. Like I want to enjoy training and actually get after it. So like I did calves, abs, adductor, and I was like, I'm feeling sound. Obviously, they're all easy. Leg extension, just did 1 set. No, I did 2 sets leg extension, 2 sets ham curl, and then I was just going to do like 1 set of any of the compounds. But yeah, I was just trashed. Just even just like from a respiratory standpoint, like trying to catch my breath. But to be fair, I am quite unfit at the minute. Just from like being post illness, but then also like after Christmas and New Year's and like moving around, and obviously like I've got the stationary bike literally there, but I've literally been
I
slacking on cardio for the past few
feel
weeks.
like this is the most slack you've probably been with cardio ever, really.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. To
probably
be fair, like it's because I was in such a routine like throughout literally mate for years, just where I just literally get up and jump on the bike pretty much straight away. But then like obviously being at home at my dad's, I don't want to be like this bedroom's like pretty much next to his bedroom. So
Mm.
like I don't really want to be jumping on the bike at 6 a.m. waking him up, like, little things like that that I'd rather not. And then when as the day goes on, I could do cardio later in the day, but I just like doing it first thing in the morning.
I
Um,
hate it. But I honestly I think there's nothing worse. I don't know
what
why.
doing it later in the day.
Oh, yeah, awful, man. Like, if I don't know, like if I had a coach and it was like, yo, bro, do half hour fasted and then half hour in the evening, I'd be like, can I just do an hour fasted, please, bro? Like, I would rather do, even if it was an uneven amount, like if it was an hour and a half fasted or like an hour total split, I'd be like, I'd rather do more fasted. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of
Also,
cardio.
like, just I feel like it's just a hassle later in the day.
Yeah, it is. Unless the only caveat is if there's football going on. I remember when I was prepping, I quite liked, I'd split a bit of it and I'd do it like during a Champions League game or whatever. So like there'd be a Champions League game and it was like, if it was Liverpool, my heart rate would be too high. But like, I just do like, I'd hop on the bike and do 15 minutes, at the start. Like, I just like, yeah, sound, I'll do that. And it was
Yeah,
actually,
it's
that
all
was a
right when
good
you've got
time.
something like to watch, but like I'd always just do work while I'm doing cardio. So like in the morning, you're doing a bit of work, doing your cardio, doing some steps. You always feel really productive. Feel like doing it later in the day, like if you've done check-ins, last thing you want to do when you've done
Yeah.
cardio.
Yeah.
Or and I mean, post workout's not too bad to be fair, but then it's like the time post workout when we train,
Yeah.
like doing cardio after you've trained, especially like again, it's doable if I had to do it. Um, but like imagine like a leg session and then being like, right, I best do cardio. It's like it's
And
not really.
also, by the time we train, like, I finish just enough to get on the road just before 5. So, like, if I do cardio, I'm like, great, into the gym at 5:30, and then it's taking me longer to get home.
Yeah, or you end up just staying longer to miss it, but then you're home later and then end up having less time to do work in the evening. Anyway, that's enough on
Oh, man, I
me.
said anything. I'm dieting now, mate. Prep starts day 4 of prep. A 10-month prep. I'm 10 months out.
You still look really fat, mate.
I know, it's crazy. I don't know why my face hasn't come in yet. I've got a bottle of Clen next to me that I'll just neck on this podcast and just overload.
Are you just dieting because you are fat?
No, I'm dieting because I don't need to be this heavy. And I'm thinking because I do in my head still want to get on stage this year, but my legs are so bad. So I we'll see. But in my head, I'm rationalizing if I can do the majority of the work now over a long period of time, if I can then stay lighter and regrow my legs, then I won't have to prep for like what would probably be like a 16 to 20 week prep, which would then put me back because I'm definitely not going to be in a position where my legs have regrown, my leg training's perfect by like May. So in my head, I was like, if I was training legs at this point, I'd continue and then just start prepping May for late in the year, which would put me with plenty of time. But now I'm thinking if I can basically diet and do the majority of the work now, I then won't have to do loads of work when I actually, if I can regrow my legs. And also, it'll probably help my knee just being a bit lighter in general, walking around a little bit lighter and stuff like that. But like overall
Why don't you
composition,
just do physique?
115 kilos on stage, 110 kilos on
You
stage.
won't be because you got no legs.
But yeah, yes, I'll probably be lighter than last year, in 2023. That'd be sound. The shorts at least won't look fucking stupid. And yeah, maybe actually, yeah, no, I don't want to do physique. It's, maybe I just go on to bodybuilding poses and just what Jacob told me, just train my right leg, don't show my right leg, and then just like the week before, this is what I said, just pump it full of hyaluronic acid, so like muscle volumizer, like my left leg, and just have it swollen and just tense only my right leg and just hit every shot from the right. And like,
You can't actually contract your quads on stage anyway.
no, I can't. I don't know how to get. I actually can now. Luckily, I can't melt my left leg. So yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, it's a bit of a rogue sort of like roll of the dice, but realistically, like, but then also it's challenging. 'Cause I'm not obviously going to be able to do loads of cardio or loads of steps.
Do
So I'm
you
just like,
need to prep this year?
I don't need to prep, but it's been long enough, and I almost think like I do want to get on stage, and when I do say I want to do something, I do want to do it. But if I'm not,
You don't want to do it and be like, fucking hell, I haven't done that. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
looking back, thinking I should have just waited.
yeah, 100%. Like this is if I look shit, like I'm not gonna look shit through my upper body. I'm really happy with how my upper body looks. If my upper body was the same as it is now, and I had the legs that I had in the summer before I got injured, 100% I'd be prepping right now, and I'd be really confident. I think I'd look really good. But again, it's one of those where I'm not just getting on stage just because I've said I'm going to get on stage. You know, I'll get on stage if I think I'm going to be competitive at a decent level. Like I'm not going to be getting on stage and thinking, yes, I got third place at a fucking PCA regional, you know, qualifier or whatever.
Be a good result for you.
I can't. Worst result I've ever had. But like, I'm not gonna if I'm not thinking that I'm gonna be at a British finals and I'm gonna be placing like top two or three, I'm fighting for a first. If I'm going into like an actual decent show and I'm like, I'm probably not gonna be in the first call out. Something wrong is going there, like wrong there. Like that's not gonna be the case. So
Are you
yeah,
going down PCA route? Yeah.
I want to do PCN two bros. That was always the goal. The goal's basically been the same. Like I want to do some form of like PCA main show. So British Finals or Universe. It was originally going to be Universe. That's obviously not the case now. And then do a two bros regional and see like where I'm at in comparison to like the standard of the big boys. Because I would be in the super heavies, which like they're big dudes. Like, but again, you don't really know how you look like until you stand next to these guys. And like realistically, I'm in no denial. I am not of the IFBB Pro fucking size standard. But then I do see like I just like when I stood next to Jack Richardson and stuff, not posed next to him, but like, Jack looks fucking class. But like structurally, I'm a lot bigger than a lot of the dudes that I'm like fucking hell, they're big, and I am. I know I am, and I'm shaped all right. Like I just need to be able to get my legs back, and I think I'd be pretty good. So yeah, ideally, I've always said like I want to be. The goal is not a fucking PCA Pro card because I don't care about a PCA Pro card, but I want to be winning a PCA Pro card based off I want to win like a British Finals or a Universe, which would be in bodybuilding tool, which I don't think would be too unrealistic this year if I wasn't injured. But we will see. If I look at myself and I'm like, oh, my upper body looks really good, but my legs look awful, I'm not going to get on stage. But we'll see. So I put like 1% chance, 99% hope. That's what we're going with the protocol for this year.
Yeah, but if let's say after this injection
Yeah.
in the next like month or two you sound like pretty good,
Mm.
take what 3 4 months building your legs back up, like, and they'll get back to where they were pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
from there, what we're like June, July,
Yeah, exactly. And then if I've already done the
you're already
majority,
pretty lean. Yeah.
exactly, I can just literally like almost in my head, what I want to do is get down to like pretty close to stage weight, which I imagine would be like if I had legs, 108, 110, and then basically like put in like a prep cycle, prep stack, and then I'd probably almost like not like recomp, I'd grow into the show, bro, but I'd almost like hold that and just get harder and better, which would be cool. So that's kind of the goal if things work out. But again, we'll see. Like it's one of those sort of things. I'll show you like next time like you're around and I'm like in shorts in an appropriate manner. But like my legs from the side are actually like the same. My hamstrings are the same pretty much. My glutes have died and my quads from the front are so narrow, it's a joke. Like if I was to hit a quarter turn, my legs, you'd be like, fucking hell, really, really good. And if I was to hit like any rear shot, she'd be like, other than my glutes, she'd be like, oh, fucking hell, yeah, hamstrings are sound. It's like that just quad pop is just like completely depleted and gone. Like my knee is so like sticky out and bony. Like, because I've always had like obviously quads throughout my knee. You don't really see your knee stick out. And like I literally had somebody mention to me, I was around Sanai's dad's, and like one of the brothers who doesn't even fucking train, she goes, "Oh yeah, you can see that knee's injured. It sticks out massively through those joggers." I'm like, "Yeah, cheers, mate. It's got my leg. There's nothing there." So yeah, right, that's that. But yeah, either way, day four of prep, but 10 months out. Let's see what we can do. Crazy. Right. So when are you and Finn debuting for your comedy show?
Debuting, not debuting.
Debuting? Oh, I read it how it's spelled.
We're, I mean, we're doing them now, aren't we? Online. We do them online.
I don't think
Um,
I'll be able to train like so right now I'm doing push and pull every third day. I don't think I'll be able to do pull because my back would be killing after carrying the stand-ups. So yeah.
yeah, good one. I was going to say, we literally, you don't need to do a comedy show. Just watch Reese's training.
Oh, that's a good one, mate. Fair enough. Um, yeah.
To be fair, we that would actually be quite funny if we did like once every, let's say, few months at the gym. We just did like a comedy night and we just took the piss out of each other.
We just literally prepare jokes about each other and we just like we
We'd end
throw
up
them.
falling out, wouldn't we?
Yeah. And then you end up probably killing yourself, which I
Yeah.
mean, we're close.
Yeah, take it
Um,
all to heart.
yeah. Right. How many did you get? Because I got a fair few to be fair.
I got like 8. Bailey asked us, big fan of the podcast. Thank you as always, mate. People competing this year, you're looking forward to seeing. Definitely not Reese.
No, definitely not me. I've got worse year on year,
We're
so
one of those where like you'll be on stage and people know that like I'm your mate and they'll be looking at me and I'll be like,
yeah. No,
I
no,
don't.
no. Excuse. He was really good before his injury. He was really-
Honestly, it's just his knee. He was
Yeah,
great before.
great. Yeah, isn't he?
What do you mean? His waist like a fridge? Like, no, it wasn't before his knee injury.
His knee injury. The knee injury ruined him. The knee injury ruined favorite people to see on stage this year. All right, let's not do clients, even though we'll probably only mention clients. Let's not do
No,
clients.
all right. I've got a good one.
Okay.
Zach Daniels of Zach Daniels coaching.
Hey, talk about waste. Zach, what's happened, bro? Vacuum.
Zach, good though.
Yeah, exactly. Good. The Lord and Savior of natural bodybuilding, AJ Morris. I am
Yeah.
actually really excited to see AJ based off the fact that not being horrible, but like the fact of how much money he's put into the UK FBA, he's guaranteed to win. I'm sorry. Like I'll be stunned if he gives someone else a win. And that's again, I'm saying that because like I think AJ will probably be good enough to win fucking this show, 100%. I don't know who's going to be doing it, but yeah, I want to see a robbery, and I want people to be like, "That's bullshit," and I'll be
Imagine it would be funny, wouldn't it? If
like,
it was like, let's say he came up against
I'm thinking, who's that dude from Dan Sutcliffe or like James Alabaster? Do they
AJ. I
even?
think AJ got beat by Dan Sutcliffe last time, but I think I've not seen AJ's physique. He doesn't post it, but I feel
Yeah,
like AJ would probably beat Dan now. Well, I don't know.
I think from the rear probably. I don't think from the Dan squads are a joke, aren't they? Like they're scary good.
I think AJ will be really good.
I think AJ will be really good. Yeah, but I
Um,
would to be like questionable. So people are like, he only won that. But that if that was the case, Loz would have won every show she did last year. You know, you
yeah,
can. But like, so I'm joking. Like, but I want there to be some drama.
I
And
don't. I don't think. I don't think that. I don't know who's competing in that show, but I don't think even if it is that close, like you're always going to get people who are like that, but I don't think like people legitimately would think that.
I think there would be some like if it's you like if it was your like if it was your client and they got beat by AJ, it was close. You'd probably be like, yeah, well, you know why they gave it him. You know,
I don't
some
think I would. I'm not. I've
that
never. I've never been like that.
no, not you, but I mean that's how people's brain works. You know, like mate, 100%. Okay, let's be honest. If you're stepping on stage against AJ Morris, UK FBA, and you're pumping up, you're probably thinking, even no matter how good he looks, he's probably gonna like the judges will look at him first because they will do. They're gonna play well. Like this isn't me saying that AJ's paying off Lee or whatever, even though he is giving him money probably from AEW, but it's not
Just
bribery.
digging a hole now.
No, because I think people know what I mean. AJ's not robbing anybody. Like, he's not going to rob it. But I think it would be something that people could say. Like, it's a conflict of interest to a certain degree, if especially like considering what AJ does for UK FBA. You know, like definitely it would be some form of conflict of interest if you were to bring it up. Hopefully, AJ wins, and I think he probably will turn up, do really well.
It'd be funny if AJ gets beaten by somebody who's really not very good, then
Yeah,
it'll be like they've deliberately gone, no, you can't win.
yeah.
'Cause people will
You
think
qualified.
that we've made him win.
You qualified for Worlds. That's all you want. So
Yeah. Anyway, AJ, Zach Daniels of Zach Daniels Fitness or coaching. Um,
Antalabi.
is he competing? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's prepping now.
Oh,
Uh,
Jack Eagles. Yeah.
oh yeah, Eagles ridiculous, mental, like really really good. Yeah, crazy.
Josh Croggan's competing this year.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be good. Anyone else that we know like that's prepping? I'm trying to think.
Not if
No.
we're not doing clients.
Yeah,
There will be people that will have slipped our mind.
yeah. Okay, right. Moving on. Favorite off-season cycles: Finn, creatine, glutamine. What's your favorite off-season cycle, bro? Spin back. So he
Come back,
doesn't
yeah. Recumbent back.
come back that you don't use.
Yeah. My favorite off-season cycle. In let's be real with natural bodybuilding.
Yeah,
What supplements would I recommend in off-season? Yeah. Okay.
like
I mean these
stack
are
design,
supplements. Huh?
stack design, calorie surplus, progressive overload.
Yeah. But no, supplements in an off season, like I'm trying to think if there's anything that I'd be like, oh yeah, like that's really beneficial that you should be taking that I wouldn't say year round anyway.
Hmm.
Like most supplements, naturally, I would just be saying take them year round anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Don't think there's anywhere I think off season you have to have this.
yeah. No, I get that.
People would
Uh,
maybe like look at a GDA, but I wouldn't really. So yeah, go on, give a real answer.
that's a shit question, isn't it? I'm sorry, official M Profit. I guarantee he's not got a profile picture. Guarantee he doesn't follow me. Let's see. Oh, he does actually follow me. I thought it was a burner account, where it's just like he logs on. Favorite off-season cycle, test fucking primo mast. Let's go with that. Two DHTs, one testosterone. Easy.
You need to
That's
give why you need to give exact doses for everybody.
exact dosages, as much as you can afford slash survive, and you'll probably fucking blow up. So like, it is true. You can afford and you can if you can survive and afford, you're good. Go for it. Right. I'll go for another one because I've got a fair few. From Team Fit. This is Jacob. Jacob said that he can't ask questions on his account for some reason, which is concerning. He must have been giving someone shit on questions. They've like Instagram banned him. So I'm a bit concerned, Jacob. Please let me know when you watch this. So he's got a few questions actually. Build a five-a-side team with bodybuilders is the first one. So non-clients, five-a-side bodybuilding team. Who's like a so we'll go goalkeeper, defender, two midfielders, attacker, like striker.
Okay. We're going
Goalkeeper.
like pros or
Yeah, let's do anyone. Let's do anyone. I'm gonna go big Ramy in goal. Five aside, he's blocking the whole
I
goal.
don't know. I feel like you need someone like Stocky in goal. He's too big. Like he won't be able to. If you smash
He's
a
out.
shot bottom bins, he's not getting down to it, and he's
He's
not
out.
big enough to stop it.
No, but I also feel like his outer quads are so wide, and he's had so much stem cells in his quads because of the holes that he probably like his knees and everything's probably like he's got the age of like a 12-year-old when it comes to his joints. So I'm imagining he'll be pretty agile. Like if I was to train him up.
I think like I'd go for like James Hollingshead or Haddy in goal because they can like Haddy when he's on stage, he bounces around,
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, Haddy's agile as
and he's
anything.
not
Big
small
Ram.
enough to not be a
Remember,
good keeper.
remember Dida from AC Milan.
I
Big
don't know.
Ram is a bit like Dida. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's racist.
ah, fuck.
That's
Sorry to Dida. Sorry to Dida and Big Ram if
it's
you're
only
watching.
Adidas. Okay.
If you're watching this.
Um, I mean, questions like this, as much as they seem quite fun on the surface,
They're hard
we
to
don't
answer.
know how anyone plays football. I'm going to have Paddy in goal. I'm going to have James Hollingshead and Derek centre back. I'm going to have Samson up top as a target man, and I'm going to have Wesley Vissers pulling the strings in midfield.
Oh, I think Wesley could be a good maestro because he's good
Yeah.
looking. You
Yeah,
know?
maybe be a better striker.
Yeah.
Is he good looking though? I don't
I
think
think,
he is. I think he's got a weird look, hasn't he? I'm not saying he's bad looking. I'm sorry, Wesley, but I don't think he's traditionally good looking.
I think Ryan Terry would be amazing at sport, like his midsection, probably balance, stuff like that. I reckon Ryan Terry would be very good at sport. And he can't train
Like
with him.
I don't know if he'd be good at football. I imagine he'd be good at things like just like all round sports. Like I bet he was good at athletics when he grew up.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I
Discus.
don't. Yeah, Finn, you go for your question, mate. We'll move on. We'll go. I'll go with Finn's team.
I mean, we got a similar one, which again, like they are funny questions, but they're also just like they are hard to think. So make a FIFA card out of your client's pace, dribbling, defending. So basically, like who out of your clients has got the best pace, the best dribbling, the best.
Oh, no idea. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. It's a good question.
Who'd be your fastest client, do you reckon? Josh Campbell? He'd
Nah,
be, I think.
I've got no quads.
Yeah, true.
Quads to be fast. Someone with massive quads, Kian. I bet Kian's rapid,
Yeah.
explosive.
Storm for me, if he wasn't 260 pounds. I mean, he played professional rugby. So I imagine, and like he actually showed me a YouTube clip of him, and he was like stupidly quick. I said to him, "Hey, and now you," I was like, "Now you're at the A1 Classic." Like, showing me rugby clips of him on YouTube, and I'm like, "Now look at you, you're at the A1 Classic, mate. You've moved up in the world."
That's how I feel about my like old football career. Like when people talk about me playing football, and I'm like, what am I now?
Yeah.
I like talk to people from back at home, and they're like, mate, yeah, you used to be class. And I'm like,
I said, Finn, you pull up in a bus stand. They're like, Finn, what you made it in football? Like, nah, man. I'm basically just an online
don't
PT.
talk to me about it.
I'm an online PT.
My barber, I say my barber, the place I go to, they have rotating guys. I mean, they're part of the same family, so they do look the same, but it's like they're all part of this same family.
They all look the same. Racist?
That's why I premised it with they're part of the same family.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he today was like asked me if it's my day off, and I was like, no days off, bro. Work for myself. And he was like, what do you do? So I told him, and he was like, I'm into the gym. And he was like talking to me about it, and then he was like, what do you think about injection? What do you think about injection? And I was like, I said, well, my brand is actually called Natural Physique Coaching, so
Reaction. So yeah,
I can't really promote it. I was like, why? What do you think? And he was like, I bought some. And I was like, right. I like spoke to him about it, and like I said to him, like, do you actually think that you like should go down that route? And I obviously told him about all the horrible things that can happen to him.
yeah. You were like, mate, you won't be cutting my hair next week because you'll be dead.
You die straight away. As soon as you inject yourself, you die.
Yeah, honestly.
Um, but no, his uncle was there, and his uncle was saying like, Idiots take it," and I was like, "No." I was like, "To be fair, as much as it is my like brand, I'm not against it in the sense of like I wouldn't be like, oh, it's just for idiots." But I sort of like explained to him like what he could probably be doing better and stuff about his training. And then like when I was leaving, he was like, what's your Instagram? Let me see." So he followed me. He said he wants to sign up.
Yeah,
But that was like it made me laugh because it was just like that. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't like talking about myself. I know I'd have a podcast and we talk about ourselves and stuff, but like. I feel like, especially now, like I really don't like talking about myself. I feel like I used to be all right about it. Don't know why now I don't like it. When someone asks you, like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" I hate answering.
yeah,
Why? Like, I don't know why, but I feel like it's just because it's like it takes more explanation. And I think with during prep, you just don't want social occasions. Like I feel like I've still got that quite a
yeah,
lot. So like if someone asks me something and it's not just a straight easy answer, I'm like, fuck's sake. Like I don't mean that in terms. I mean like out of a work setting. So like if my family members ask me something, like when I was prepping, they'd be like, "Oh, what are you eating?" And it pissed me off. Like and you have to like try and not get annoyed.
I
I
know.
still have that a bit. So like when he asked me like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" I almost like the first in my thought process is, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It
it
shouldn't
should
be.
be.
That's me.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. 100%. I don't like that, but
Not
I
like
need to work on it.
it's not like you can go, oh, what do you do, mate? Oh, no, not a lot. What do you
No.
do? Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, I don't like coming across salesy. You know what I mean? So like I didn't want to be like, "Oh mate, well I do this for work. Why don't you sign up? Like I'll show you all the progress you can make naturally." Like I don't want to be like that when I'm getting my hair cut. I want to
no,
just be having a chat with him, you know what I mean, about other stuff.
yeah, I
Anyway,
get
signing up.
it. You're blind.
No, but he was buzzing. He was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, showed him the Instagram and showed him like some of my client results and stuff.
Yeah, but mate, he'll do check in one. He'll be like, "Hey, mate, I just started testing.
I know. I literally said that to him. I was like, "If you're gonna sign up, like you can't use it if you bought it." He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I know.
Just give it to me. Give it to me free, and I'll get rid of it. Okay?" And then be
I'll get
like,
rid of it for you."
"Yeah, I've got this for you, bro." Right. Okay. So we've got two questions about Mr. Eagles. So Eagles prediction for his season. I know he's doing Detroit,
Don't want
and
to go to Detroit. I just think he shouldn't go to Detroit.
They kill each other.
That's my prediction. He's gonna get killed.
They get killed. Yeah, they love to shoot each other in Detroit. And then he's doing the FIBO Germany show. Now, what's your prediction for Eagles?
I think he's good enough to cause a bit of an upset. It's his pro debut, but not, isn't it? Because he did do a pro show, didn't he, when he got his pro
Like
card?
legit, yeah. As
And
he's like,
he came like top 10,
no, he's like 15th, 16th, about
was
like
it?
20.
Um, I don't know. I think he looks fucking mega, doesn't he? He is great. Like he's got a great physique. I think he'll be, I imagine, up there with the chance of getting top three, top five at both. Like it depends on who turns up. If it's not the best of shows, like Jack's easily got a winning physique. You know what I mean? You see Jack wins a show and qualifies for Olympia. I'm not shocked.
There's a lot worse athletes that have won pro shows
Yeah,
than
I wouldn't be like, what? Jack's,
yeah.
I'd be like,
No.
sick.
I think Jack has a winning level physique, but it entirely depends on who turns up. Like I know the lineup's been somewhat released for Detroit, and if I'm honest, I actually probably have Jack like top two to three, depending on. There's a few. There's a guy who stepped up for men's physique called like Mamasi. I don't know if you know him. He was coached by Callum. He's a joke, but like he was a men's physique guy and he's humongous. And there's I think a German, not it might be a German or some. He looks like he's German, but he might not be. He might be like Austrian or something. Dude who looks ridiculous on Instagram. But like Jack's got like awesome shape, like ridiculous shape. He's very well balanced. He's really round and bubbly, and he's not that far off at this point. So I think it'll entirely depend. Like his shape is so nice and he's so pleasing. So it's like I think he'll be rewarded off that. But then it's just is he going to be big enough in comparison to some of the dudes? Like do I think Jack like let's say if he was to compete like next to like Niall, Darwin, like Niall beats Jack, I'd say, but like Jack's shape is ridiculous. But it's just has he got enough in the cap to really make those steps up? But again, we don't know how he looks going to look on stage. I would fucking love it if Eagles wins. I think that'd be mega. That'd be ridiculous. Like your
I
first.
think he can though.
I
Like I
think
say, you wouldn't be shocked if he did.
I would be more shocked if Eagles wasn't in the top three than him winning, if that makes sense. Like if I
Yeah.
saw Jack Eagles fourth or fifth, I'd be like, wow, what the fuck? Like something must have either gone wrong or some like I would be stunned with that. I would say he's a shoe-in, in my opinion, for top three for the vast majority of the shows he does. And it's only going to be a matter of time. He's 22, like it's fucking crazy. So yeah, really, really cool to see. Especially like the rate of progression of him as an athlete,
Yeah.
probably the rate of like non-progression as him as an intellect when it comes to just like
I don't know. I feel like he's,
he's way more personable now than I think he
yeah, I was
was.
gonna say, like when we first met him, he was definitely a lot less. Like he has a laugh now, doesn't he? And like he's still very dry, but like he's actually got a bit of personality, and he's,
Still has to insult for the first 60 seconds of any time you see
oh
him.
yeah, he's still a bit awkward with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe that's just him.
No, I said this to him actually when we trained last or whatever. And I said like it was the first minute and all he done is just insult me. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, Finn's correct. And he was like, what? And I was like, the first minute to like make it less awkward, you just insult people. And then after that, you're like, oh yeah, okay, we're friends. And then he was like, he laughed and he went, yeah, probably. It was just like, yep, sound.
Just like lad banter, innit, I guess.
Yeah, right. And then he also asked thoughts on Jack Eagle saying training like JP and then in brackets and you makes you non-aesthetic, grows the waist in brackets. I don't know where Jack said this. If he has,
And
fair.
you in
Yeah,
brackets.
and you. Cheers. My front double that I posted the other day is pretty good. I don't know if Jack has said that. I think there's definite thought process where like probably training like a fucking idiot and throwing weight around and stuff is probably gonna create some slight like visual discrepancies. But as well, like a lot of people just put on tissue. Like my waist, for example, is definitely not small. The photos I posted the other fucking day of my natty days, my waist on the side's tiny. Like, but again, genetically, when you add muscle, you add
That was
muscle.
before you trained like JP.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
trained like an idiot.
Yeah. No, I think like it's got a bit full circle again, where it's just like people are like, oh, it's very easy to throw on like, oh, you train like this, you train like that. Me and Jack train when we train very similar, like very, very similar. I'm just a bit stronger than Jack, and Jack be the first one to say that. Like I'm stronger than on everything, and I think it's one of those where bar legs now, definitely. But like a lot of people, I think they see people that are stronger, and they're just like, oh, fucking hell, they must train differently
Yeah, but
or
it does
whatever.
depend how you perform things. Like if you were to look at your T-bar rows versus Jack's, like they're not the same.
But I also wouldn't say like my T-bar rows are that bad in most cases. Like I think it's very easy to like just look at a heavy load and think, oh no, that's a lot, that's bad form. And in reality, like my T-bar rows aren't no way near as bad as I think like maybe other sets are from like other people. And for example, I got sent a screen recording earlier. I didn't tell you about this. Someone was talking about like yeah buddies and stuff, and they recorded it. They screen recorded it, and on the next slide, it was Dan Talabi doing 8 plates on a single arm pull down. And it's like there's certain people like for example, Storm trains so much more sloppy than me in on every single movement. And Jesus Christ, he grows muscle faster than I think I've ever seen anybody. And
Yeah.
like I'll train with him and I look like I'm a natural fucking 2025 broccoli haired. I've got to be fair, my hair's not too dissimilar. But like, I look like the standard natural bodybuilder next to Storm, with how I train in comparison to him, because he is grip, rip, throw everything about, fucking range of motion. Some things is great, range of motion, other things isn't the best. Stands up on a T-bar row. But every time I see him, he's got fucking new levels of tissue, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think that depends though, doesn't it? Like I feel like there are some people who will just grow
yeah,
ridiculously regardless. I think if Storm trained like I don't know who trained like Dirk for 3 months, I think he'd probably grow a shit ton as well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
'Cause it'd be different. Like
yeah,
it's just something new.
yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, like I mean, if you look at it on paper, if you think, let's say, I mean, how if you look, how does JP train? You know what I mean? Like obviously, I know he trains heavy and he fucking gets switched on for sets, but it's not as if JP's form's awful. I'd
No,
actually say JP's form across most things is very good. He just trains very heavy and quite low rep,
I think that's yeah. I'd say
which
JP.
arguably would mean that you do have to probably brace harder and potentially blow your stomach out a bit more. Like
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, you know, you need if you're moving more load, you're gonna likely need a little bit more stability through your core. So you probably see that your core will grow a bit more. Like, so I get it, but also a big part of it is that you know how you in what you enjoy within training.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like, if you enjoy getting switched on and training and you know training heavy and lower rep stuff, fair enough.
No, I agree. I think as well, like it's just very easy to like have like these camps, and it's like I don't really. Whenever JP posts his training, he'll do 3 rep lateral raises, and I'm like, I don't do 3 rep lateral raises. Like I think it's just I posted my like full back workout today because like the amount of times that I have people mention like, and it's like I literally do like in a back set session that I'm doing 12 to 15 sets. 3 of them are a little bit sloppy, if that, maybe two. And they're usually the sets that I'm like, oh, they're the fun sets. They're the sets that I like look forward
Yeah.
to. And that make like I remember post prep last year or in back into prep, I fucking hated half my sessions because I had nothing big and enjoyable to look forward to them. That's cool. But then also, like, and this is not me being cocky, but it's the truth. Like, hands down, in the last year and a half, I've probably made more progress than the vast majority of people. Like, that's because I train hard. Like, that's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm stronger than most people. I'm got a good amount of tissue. Is that because of my training in a positive or negative sense? No, it's just I just train hard. I enjoy what I do. And I feel like if I didn't have that enjoyment, I wouldn't have made the same progress. And as a result, like I'm doing what I'm doing, JP can do what he does.
It does come down to enjoyment.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that is the most important thing. I think what you enjoy the most will probably make you grow the most because
100%.
you'll
Yeah.
stick to it and you'll if you enjoy something, you're going to put more effort into it.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean? That doesn't mean necessarily like just do moving more load, but like you can still train really fucking hard and really well with 8 to 12 reps, 5 to 8 reps, 15 plus reps. Like I think what you enjoy is the most important thing.
agree. Right, your one, mate.
Um, do you know a guy called James Linford?
No. Sorry, James. Why? Did he ask a personal question to me?
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much does Reese stink of cum?
Depends on when, where, who I've been with.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I thought I went on his profile. I was like, maybe Reese coaches him, and then I was like, I don't think he does. I don't know if you even follow him.
How do you even stink of like cum? Like,
I know it doesn't have a like massively distinct smell.
you
Mine
know, like
doesn't
you know that
anyway.
Bonnie Blue girl, who's had like 1,000 guys or whatever.
Jesus, she stinks.
I'd like no just to smell her and be like, oh, you reek of cum. I don't really, it doesn't really have like a distinguishable. If you stunk of cum, I probably wouldn't even like think, oh wow, you
Yeah.
stink.
To be fair, I used to play. This sounds like your tennis story. I used to play tennis, right? and there was like a tree next to the tennis court that did smell of cum. Like but like it smelled of, when you've like cleaned up after, generally after a wank. This is when I was probably like 16, so it's not after I was shagging.
Yeah, Finn hasn't had a wank since before prep. Like Finn's dick doesn't work, so you don't know what that is anymore.
That is sound that. But like
Wank all the time, mate.
I'll do one right now if you want. But yeah, basically this tree in Haxey did smell of cum, so I kind of got. I'm thinking of it now. Yeah. Um,
Who
he still
discovered
didn't
that?
smell of that. Really smells awful, but not of cum. Just really bad.
Really, really bad. Honestly, so bad. How
Just
did
really,
you?
really like a big fat steroid goblin smell.
Yeah, yeah. How did you find the tree that smelled of cum? Who found that?
No, it was just
That
next to. It was literally like so. The tennis court is here, and the tree
yeah,
is there. Tree was like over the tennis court, and now and again, if the ball would go over, you'd go get the ball. And
yeah.
like there was a couple of times where me and the guy I used to play with a guy called Jim, and we'd say that smells, doesn't it? It smells a bit of cum. It
Yeah.
does.
Jim would spend like you'd be like, all right, see you later, Finn, and he'd just have a wank every night, multiple times.
Smelling the
Yeah,
tree.
just
Oh, it was
hang.
his cum on the tree, was it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he'd get there early. Every time you got there, did you ever get there when James wasn't there? No, James
Uh,
was there the entire
yeah.
time. He was wanking on that tree. Right. So, top three Liverpool defenders of all time. If Skirtle isn't there, I'm losing my head. Right, Finn, you go for it. What we'll do, I'll do Man United defenders in order. You do Liverpool defenders in order.
In order,
Well, top three. Like, yeah, top like three Liverpool defenders.
are we counting fullbacks?
No, let's do centre halves.
Okay, because I'm gonna say yours are literally three that play now.
Nah. What, Trent, Robbo, Virgil? No, I think most people would probably have like Kanate or Matip over. Honestly, I'd
Ah,
probably Kanate.
mate, what they've done for the club, like now, like not right now how they're playing, like but what they've done for the club, yeah, 100%. They both got most assists in the league, both of them above
Yeah,
anyone, like 100%. Anyway,
yeah,
so first is Virgil,
yeah.
second Sammy Hippier,
Fantastic shout.
and then probably third, maybe
Shout.
like maybe Carragher, just because of longevity.
I'd probably go Joel Matip third, I'd say, personally. I'm trying to think. Mamadou Sakho before Klopp
Yeah, Saka's good.
came as the captain of PSG. Um, yeah, I'd say, mate, Sammy Hippier is a fantastic shout. I didn't think you had that level of ball knowledge. Sammy Hippier, no, massively under like rated
I've
centre
got
back.
very good ball knowledge.
No, Sammy Hippier was so much better than Carragher. It was a joke. Like
Yeah,
Hippier,
Carragher, it's like, in my opinion, like people won't say this, but like, well, I'm not saying that Vidic was a better footballer than Ferdinand. He wasn't, but he was so much better as a defender. Like, I would, if it was like, who would you rather have in the team, Vidic or Ferdinand? Vidic all day long.
yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I love Vidic.
Right, I need to do yours. I think Ferdinand has been massively because of Van Dijk, because of how the defending's gone. It's gone down this like Ferdinand was the original Van Dijk. He's been like overrated massively. His,
I
in
never
my
rated him.
opinion, his level when he was playing was, in my opinion, below John Terry considerably. And it was like Vidic would do the work, and Ferdinand, the amount of times from get blitzed on his ass was a joke. Like I never remember like watching Man United and thinking, oh, we need to get round Ferdinand. It was like, no, get
No,
round Vidic because he's the one who will just take you out and swipe you out. But I'm thinking, is there a better centre half than Vidic that I can think of like recent years? Like, no, there's not. So, mate, Chris Smalling for the first season under Mourinho, fantastic shout
Smalling and Phil Jones, they were the
that.
future.
Yeah, no, I'd say Vidic, Ferdinand. Like, is there one I'm forgetting that like came in? No, and then probably yeah, Smaldini, mate.
Really?
I probably no. Chris Smalling had good moments. Like, who would you go with? Maguire? Like,
I'd go Vidic, Yapstam, Ferdinand.
oh, I wasn't really thinking. We didn't really watch Yapstam, did we? It was like
No,
what?
but from
Yeah,
an actual player, I'd have him up there. And
yeah,
then what before that, Steve Bruce. But again, I didn't watch him play. But like, what sort of, I guess, if you were to look at the actual player and what they achieved, Vidic and Ferdinand have got to be the top two because they
I
won
was
everything.
thinking like from like two. I was thinking like from like 2004 onwards. That's what I was saying.
Onwards from there.
Would you have Chrissy Smalling?
Nah, I'd probably have.
Eric Bailly before his injuries.
I'd have Martinez above any of those. Like, and Martinez hasn't been great for us. Maguire, I mean, as much as Maguire gets shit on and people hate him, like he's
Um,
not as bad as everyone makes out. Like he was a bit of a scapegoat during, well, he has been a scapegoat. But yeah, he's not amazing, but he's also not the problem. You know what I mean? There's worse players than Maguire at United. Like, and they've done worse for you. And he always tries, which is all we ask for. You know, when
yeah,
you're paid stupid amounts of money, just as long as you try, boys.
exactly. It's like Nunes when Nunes misses a chance. It's like, don't worry, he gets in the position zone, gets
Yeah,
in the position.
keep trying.
Yeah,
Um, James Linford again. Why has Reece got such a tiny penis?
this guy hates me, doesn't
No, he didn't say that.
he? Oh, imagine James has asked like seven questions. It's like, oh, please tell Reese I don't want to punch him in the face when I see him.
No, this one was how much would it cost to try heroin once? Done by a doctor, so it's a safe amount.
Oh, so it's like an injectable, like what would be an opioid or whatever. Yeah,
But no different for you.
yeah, exactly. Just know about needles.
Drugs are
Uh,
all the same. They're all bad.
yeah, I'd cross my like, I'd be like, please, please, please be Trent. Um, what do you mean? Like, how much would it cost? What for us to try it?
Yeah.
Well, you know, like in most drug dealers, I'm pretty sure like give you a free hit because then like you have it and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? And I know that's like from what I've been told, and I say that because I literally have never done recreational drugs, but I know that's like one of the strongest, and it's like everything just no matter your worries, Finn, you'd be so happy. Everything, every bad thing in your life just goes immediately to amazing, and you feel great. Um, the best way I could describe it, my mum said that imagine like you're homeless. If you were to take it and it's like pissing down with rain, it's like all of a sudden you're on a sunny beach and like you're a millionaire. Like she was like, that's like what the mental sort of like flick it probably would be. So how much I mean, it's one of those sort of things. It's weird to think that we're going to live once and we're not going to experience stuff, but I also have no need. Like, you know, if I was on like my deathbed and I had a week to live and they said, do you want to take some of this? I'd be like, let's just say I'm dying in a week anyway. I'm not going to get addicted. And like, if I, in my head, if I was to ever do drugs, it probably would be when I'm like in my, like when I'm retired and I'm like, I've got my life set up, but then I don't really think that I don't want to
I know what
suddenly,
you mean.
you know what I mean? Like,
What scares me is like, even at school and stuff, when like people would be like, oh, try a spliff or try a cigarette. Like I've never have, and I'd always say no because one, I quite like being the odd one out who doesn't do it and doesn't succumb to peer pressure. I've always been like that. And two, like, what if I really fucking like it? That's
yeah.
not good. You know what I mean? Like, if you're fucking, what, 14 and
Oh
starting
yeah,
to
no
like
way. No way.
taking drugs, doing weed every fucking evening with your mates, like, no, like, and like, even if like, it's just once, but like, it's never just once if you like it. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's a dangerous sort of slide to end up sort of going down. So yeah, like I've never tried anything for that reason. And like
Yeah.
people would think, "Oh, you never tried it?" No, because what if I do like it and I don't really want to? Because is it going
I
to
like you said
be
before,
productive?
I haven't had a cigarette. Like and I've never had
I
temptation.
haven't.
I've never ever had a cigarette in my hand, in my mouth, nothing. Because I'm like, I can't see the benefit of this. And there's nothing good that comes from it. Like
Yeah,
I,
even if I loved it,
yeah.
that's the worst case scenario. Like
Yeah, no,
if I
no, it's
don't
just like
like it, great, but then I don't need to try it. If I do like it and I really like it, and I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm going to start doing that. Then I'm spending money and I'm fucking ruining my health. Like,
so
so yeah, I just
if you're
think
on your deathbed and they've been like, look, bro, you've got a week to live. Do you want to try these drugs? Like randomly, they just come in and say, would you be like, yeah, sound, I'm dying, let's see what it's
probably
like.
yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the only situation where I'm like, my life's done, or like, I'm retired, I've got businesses that don't need me to be present. And someone says, would you try it? I'd probably go, yeah, sounds done everything that I want in life. But while I'm like grinding away, fucking no days off, bro, I don't want to be like, hey mate, sorry for the late check-in. I was just doing fucking coke all night and I just
Just
want
do
to
heroin.
come
Just come
yeah,
down.
yeah, I was just like lying on my sofa spagging out because I've got a fucking
That's
needle
the
in
thing as well. Like, when you
my
see it on like
eye.
Breaking Bad or like, any kind of program, how is that appealing?
Yeah, I know. But that being
And,
said,
and to be fair, like I've seen people who are high, like, when people even just from like weed, and it doesn't appeal to me. I don't
yeah,
think, oh, that looks fun. I wish I was high with them. I think, what the fuck are you doing?
I get that.
I mean, I've never been like, oh yeah, like I want that. I've been the opposite and been like that puts me off massively.
Yeah, I agree. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like it's strange because we are like it is so. I've never heard of anybody who's the same as me, who's never smoked, never done drugs, anything like that.
I have, but I know what you mean. To be fair, like,
Rarity, especially within bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's so common for drug use. It's a joke. Like
yeah.
not PDs, like actual like recreational drugs. It's scary how like they're used. Like it's the same as like because we use enhancement as well. The amount of people that like you'll just speak to me about like modafinils and stuff, and they're like, I'm like, you're not even that busy, bro. Like you don't have that many clients. You don't need a modafinil. Like everything's like biohacking and fucking trying to, I'm fucking leveraging the system, bro. And it's like, no, you're just a fucking idiot who doesn't have any willpower to not go on your phone every 5 minutes to get shit done.
Or you don't
Sorry.
get enough sleep, or
Yeah, like it's so weird. Like that everything has to be enhanced. Sometimes it like should be a bit of a grind. Like same like let's say diets with like semaglutide, Ozempic and shit that people use now dieting. It's like, you ever thought about just suffering, bro, and just thinking I'm just gonna stick to it and use my own mental willpower? No, like it's so
everyone wants an easy way out, don't they now?
yeah, it's fucking silly. Right, last few. Would you rather wrestle a 300 kg crocodile, natty crocodile, or a 100 kg chimp? He's on 500 milligrams of tren. 100 kg chimp would fuck you up. Like,
What,
and
a
it
50 kilo crocodile?
no 300 kg crocodile, but it's
Oh,
natural. Or a chimp on tren. I'm sorry, that chimp on tren is gonna shag me and then kill me. Probably both, and then shag me again.
300
Like,
kilo crocodile though, that's pretty heavy.
yeah, but it'd be slow and stiff. Like, if you go around the back, have you seen the
No, have
video?
you seen them? They snap.
Yeah. Have you seen when they get
Pretty
bonked
rapid.
by like a spade? If you spade them on the top of the mouth, they like run off, they get scared. And there's like this guy that runs across and spades them like bump, 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 and all the crocodiles, it's in like a lake, all run away from them. And he's just like running through, like sprinting and bump, 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 bump. So it's quite funny.
I would probably do the crocodile, to be fair, just because
Yeah.
I feel like I wouldn't want a chimp running at me.
No. Storm had a baboon in his gym in South Africa. He sent me a video of it, like he forwarded it to me. In his gym, there was a baboon literally just walking through, like on the floor. And like the baboons apparently like size you up. If you're smaller than it, it will try and fuck you up. And like he was telling me all about like there's like loads of snakes,
All
rattlesnakes.
these natties in 4XL gasps getting beat up by a baboon.
Literally, like, that baboon came to
Like,
natural
I've got a massive top. I'm 4XL. I'm
huge.
4XL.
Oh, except that the baboon just beats you to death. Oh, great.
Which UK natty show do you think will be the best this year?
Whichever one AJ Morris is doing.
He's doing the first one, the UKDFBA one in May.
I don't even think I have any clients doing that, but I'm going to go to it.
You'd be at every show, won't you?
Yeah, every AJ show. I'm going to the AJ show, AJ podcast. Sometimes I just listen to an AJ video. The
AJ.
AJ, love an AJ podcast. Yeah,
I will say probably.
PCA Naturals, the championships at the end of the year will be pretty cool, I
It's a
reckon.
hard one, isn't it? Because you've got that. You've got PCA Naturals like the finals. You've got the WMBF Supernaturals, which is now across 2 days, and then you've got the MBW, which is like the UKDFBA International. Um, it's hard to pick one, and I don't want to sit on the fence and look like that guy who's sitting on the fence. So I am going to say the NBW show just because I think it's new, it's different. Obviously, PCA did have done finals before. WMBF, I've been to supernatural shows. Like, I feel like the MBW show, how I'm visualizing it, might be similar to the Denmark show that I went to, which was really fucking good. So that's where I'm going with that.
I get that. The only issue is I really can't be asked to hear side tricep gentleman, not front tricep, like 7 times on the same show day. Uh, yeah, I don't fancy listening to that. So yeah, right. My other questions, mate, were literally about fucking pinning gear. So I was like, I'm not gonna go through these. Like, there was like 3 questions about how to inject. I was like, okay, mate.
That's weird, isn't it? Like, although I guess people need to know somewhere.
I don't think he's going to listen to this. Jacob, I'm so sorry. Jacob had a guy that basically said at the end of his check-in, like, yeah, man, so I got some testy on the weekend, and yeah, I just started my cycle. That was literally, but yeah, great week, mate, thanks. And Jacob was like, what the fuck do I say? Because just randomly at the end of a check-in, yeah, I just took some test and stuff like that. And I saw her on we our most recent guests, close friends. I'm not going to say anything else. that he had a message from somebody was like, again, I'm sorry if you don't want me to say this, but I imagine it'd be cool. And it was like, hey mate, thanks for the check-in, or this week or whatever, what body weight hasn't gone down, probably due to the inflammation, and also got some testy on the weekend. And then she replied, so you started a cycle, and I went, yeah man, started Sunday. He's like, this is what you should run by me, bro, please. So it's weird, like so strange. So yeah, like the question was literally like how like there was I got three questions, and the second one was like, how can I administer? What needle do I need? And it's like, do you not know this sort of stuff? Like, shouldn't be using stuff if you have no idea.
Yeah, I had that conversation a little bit with the guy at the barbers today because he was like asking me like what protein you should have. And I was like, mate, if you don't know that, like you should not be starting it. He was like, should I have, he was saying, bless him, he was saying white protein. He was like, I have white protein. Is that right? And I was like, do you mean whey? And he was like, white protein. I was like, I think you mean whey protein. He was like, white or mass? I was like, whey.
Mass gainer. Mass gainer is what you have. Three
I was
scoops
like,
of
whey
mass.
protein is fine.
Pretty sick.
Um, how do you manage the right balance between training, coaching, other projects, and life? We don't, bro.
Balance, bro. There's no balance. You either go to your girlfriend hates you, Sanaya, she's gonna leave me soon. Or you just keep you go to you're insane. Yeah, there's no real balance. Like I did a reel about this and it did quite well. And I basically was like, if you actually want to be fucking good at stuff, especially in your early years, like just fucking don't worry about balance. Like stop worrying about balance. Balance is a thing. It's the same as like motivation. It's fucking such a shit word. And I think there should be balance. I actually think there should be balance, but I mean it in the way of like you have to earn the right to get to that point. Me and Finn have been on the rabbit wheel for fucking years at this point. And I'd say we're now in positions where we can probably ease off. We don't need to be fucking doing everything at 100 miles an hour, but we're still wanting to be applying ourselves and getting better. And if you're like starting out, I had a guy come up to me and he was like, I need to, how do you make some passive income? And I was like speaking to him and he was like, he's got six clients. I'm like, bro, you haven't even got a name. Like, no passive income, bro. You're the work. There's no passive here. You're the work, bro. Like, you need to
But
fucking
even
grow.
like for us, like it's still no passive income. You know what I mean? It's like
My
you,
training plans is passive income, but that's like few and far between. It's not
yeah.
like it's
But like
enough.
even that, like it's not as if that's enough for you to live. Like it's literally a little bit extra. Like, but yeah, I think people are always looking for the easy way out. I'm not saying that. So the guy that asked is one of my clients. I'm not saying that you are, mate. He's got a kid as well. He's got a family, so it's different. Like for you, like realistically, that balance needs to be swayed towards what you prioritize. Like, and that's I think that's the same really. I'd say for any client, you've got to prioritize like what means the most to you. That should be number one. That takes priority above other things, and then you almost like compartmentalize what is second most important and so on. But I think yeah, there's times where that balance has to sway a little bit. If you're in a contest prep, then realistically, that will sway and be a bit more of a priority. And when you're in an off season, then family time can be a bit more of a priority. And yeah, I think it depends on the phase you're in and stuff like that. But realistically, there's no like secret. I think time management is really important. I think being disciplined to that time management is really important. Setting specific times for family time, work time, training time, etc. Like that can be really important. But there'll also be times where it's like that, the piece of the pie for family or for things outside of work and training is minimal sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And it's a challenge. Like you get better at it as well. Like people act like I remember I've said this before. I had Connor who Finn absolutely destroyed on stage. Say to me that AJ Morris had fought Connor, the one we trained with, pasta protocol, pasta in pink hair.
Yeah, smashed him down, made him look awful.
He actually retired from bodybuilding after that,
I
which I'm
know, I don't blame him.
Finn retired him. He said to me that AJ has 40 clients. And I remember like this is when I was like kind of getting into coaching when I had like three. And I remember thinking 40, oh my God. And the thing is like people expect that like you randomly spawn in with like 30 clients and then it goes up to 50. You naturally climb and your like availability of time alters and your routine changes. And the only times I ever think to myself, fuck, I'm busy, when like for example last week I'm in Madrid, my mum's like she runs a far fucking more successful business than like me and Finn combined, and she'll be like done with work at like 11 and I'm like, oh sound, I've got hours left. It's like that's when I'm like, oh fuck, I am busy because I'm out of routine. But in my usual routine I never really feel like I'm that busy It's just a case of making sure I've got enough time to. I don't even have enough time. Get up at the same time. I wake up. I go to bed at the same time. I do the same sort of shit every day. But that's because I've molded my life and it's been a natural sort of evolution. If I was to wake up tomorrow with 20 more clients, I would be like, oh fuck, okay, I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna have to
That's
change
what I
this.
was saying about being ill.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
100%.
when I was ill over those few days and my body like pretty much shut down, like it was ridiculous the amount that I slept.
Yeah,
Getting back to your normal routine, it feels like, oh shit, like I am really busy. But
yeah,
like
yeah,
when you're in a good rhythm with it, you just feel like it's the norm.
yeah.
And again, if you're out of that, it's why routine is so, so important. You know, when people are saying, oh man, I'm just not feeling good this week or really struggling with this week, usually the times where routine slipped, starting going to bed later, getting up later, being on the phone too late, they're, not eating at the same times, they're going to the gym later than they should be, and then obviously the gym's busier, so the session's longer, and before you know it, that routine that you had that was making you feel great has slipped to the point where now it's, 2, 3 hours behind that, and then you feel like you're playing catch up all the time. That's when you probably feel.
I will say that's probably not spoken about enough. Don't know if you might be able to agree. I feel like it makes time go so fucking fast. Like this month is like
Mate,
full
it's scary.
and
Mate,
it's like
years. The
yeah, like
past however many years. Like, when
yeah.
like I look back and think about like even like going back to when you competed, like that like it's just gone. You know what I mean? It's like time just fucking flies by. I don't know where, well obviously it's like I know where it goes. It's how the world works. But it's yeah, the busier you are, like the more rapid like your time flies by.
When you like don't like your job and you spend time Monday to Friday like resenting getting up, then you have the weekend, you're like, oh great weekend. And then you've got Christmas, then you've got bank
Weekend
holiday.
flies.
Yeah, it breaks things down because I remember like being at school and stuff. The Monday to Friday would feel like an eternity, and it would hit the weekend. You'd have that Friday feeling, and then by before you know it, it's Sunday, like it's Sunday night, and you're going back to school the following day or whatever. And I find like coaching because you do the same sort of stuff. It honestly feels like the last I'd say 3 years feels faster than my previous like 20. Like, and
I think
obviously that
that's just getting older
like
though.
older, yeah, stuff like that. But like, I definitely thought like, fuck, my life really isn't that long. Like, when people say, "Oh, your life's too short," like, I'm like, yes, it is because like
Yours
26.
is.
Yeah, exactly. I've got like maybe 3 more years left, if that. Like, it's bad. But yeah, it is scary. Like, especially when you're just like constant. Like, it's mental how much faster life goes. Like, it's been 2 years since I started prep 2 years ago. Like last one, what? Like I feel like I prepped. Like I still say that when I was on stage last year, and it feels like it was about a year
Mate,
ago.
I think like I
You've been prepped you prepped 2 years ago, Finn. I feel like you
I
prepped
know,
like months ago.
I
You
know
know,
last month.
yeah, that's
It's
how you
crazy.
feel and your testosterone, and how your dick works. Honestly, yeah, it's a scary
Now,
one.
guys, I've told you it's fine now.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah, mate. You need to wank on the podcast right
I
now.
know, I'm gonna have to prove it, aren't
But
I?
yeah, it's just a bit weird.
Um,
Right, any more?
last one. How proper deload should look like.
Take some time off, bro. Um, Yeah, I'd literally say deloadings is very individual. It's going to be person dependent and it's going to be where you're at in the phase, how strong you are. I quite like for most people that aren't that strong, probably just going into the gym and doing like recovery devolume sessions, getting a pump, and doing having a bit of fun, limiting your time, and just getting in and getting out. I really like that. Me and Finn really like that until we probably got a bit too strong and we were like had a lot more on when it comes to responsibilities. I wouldn't be able to do that now. Probably Finn again, maybe wouldn't want to, but our deloads usually align when we're away with stuff. So like that's usually how we kind of operate it. But again, for most people, if you're looking upon an actual deload, go to the point where you are legit, mega fucked. Don't have any question in your mind you need to take time off. Like, I hate the whole, I feel a bit shit and I'm gonna have to deload eventually. You go to the point where you're fucking ruined. And then take a good amount of days off, 3 days as a minimum, I'd probably say, and then sometimes maybe 4 to 5. Any more, I always feel like I fall out of routine. But in the meantime, don't be married to your 7 day training split. Like, I said to Storm this week, Storm's very fucking strong. I said to him, just take 2 days off, bro. Like, take 2 days off, have another day on top of your normal rest day. And he trained today and he had a fucking wicked leg day. And it was like, he's battered, but that's extended it to another probably week or two. And sometimes you can just do that. You can just listen to your body, which I think we should. And that's the one negative sometimes about following a 7 day rotation. But yeah, it's hard to answer, but just have a few days off. And then when you actually get that itch to go back and train, go back and train.
Yeah, I think if it was a deload like where, because I think some people as well will still train during they'll have like a deload week
Yeah.
in the gym. which you might class people might the terminology might be a devolume week or an auto-regulated week or an RIR week or something like that. But yeah, I would just tailor it to like what you feel good doing. So like I have some clients that prefer time off. I have some clients that prefer devolume. I have some clients that like an approach of like reducing some volume but keeping some the same, and then just like taking one or two reps in reserve on the volume that they're keeping the same. Like, yeah, I don't think there's any specific like one size fits all.
What
What
do you do
would
now?
be that
What's
client?
your diva? Like, if you were to be like, let's say you just woke up tomorrow, like, let's say you weren't ill and you're like, I'm fucked, but it's fatigue. What would be your protocol? You're not going away anywhere. Like, let's say, what
I'm
would
gonna
you do?
say that I quite like time off when I'm actually like going away. So I would probably just do
Book a holiday. I book a holiday.
probably just book one. No, I'd
Probably
probably
book
just devolume and just do one set less across like most things, or even just one set per exercise. I quite like that. Like it's obviously a lot shorter a session, and usually I'd end up doing a bit more. So if I go in and like, right, I'm gonna do one set per exercise on some
a.
of the things that are three sets, I might usually do two. If
Yeah.
there's some of the things that are two sets or one set, I'll just do one. Just make the total workload in the session like 30 to 50% less. Do that for a few sessions, and before you know it, you probably feel sound. And also, it's then sometimes a good baseline to either work back up from or just keep it there for a while. Like, and you can be like, oh, actually, yeah, I was doing a bit too much volume. I feel better, my performance is better, a bit lower. Keep it there for a while, and then build it back up when you feel like you need to, and you can do.
No, I think that's a good way. I used to really like that approach. But I think you just get to a certain point where like my joints probably need a bit of time. Especially as well when you're like overall heavy. Like whenever I go past like 120-ish, 125, I notice like I'm just like always fucking knackered, like and fatigued. I'm like, just from being heavy. When I'm below, I don't feel as bad. Like I remember when I was before I injured my knee when I was like 117, 118, I was like, fuck, I haven't deloaded in like 12 weeks. I feel great. Like I feel really good. So yeah, there's definitely that sort of toll that takes its place. But for me personally, like my usual deload approach is usually 4 days. I like four, maybe sometimes five. And that will probably be correlated with like when I come back, I almost run like a bit of an auto regulation, probably for like a good period of time. Like as Finn said regarding like going back in and just almost like resetting volume. Usually like I don't escalate at volume like within a plan like week one, week two, week three that people used to do, and then people decided that that doesn't work anymore and it's shit and ineffective. Or some people decided that. The people that were saying it now don't do it, which is funny. Bodybuilding, eh? But I do like I'll just at the back end of a session or back end of a let's say a workout from getting a good pump and I know I've got a deload coming up, probably do a few extra sets. I'll kind of acutely drive up my volume session to session when needed over like the last couple of weeks, put myself into a bit of a hole, deload, then I come back, I basically just reset back down to like baseline volume. So like right now, base being off the fact that it's only been a month post Christmas. And I was away in Madrid. I still trained in Madrid, but I wasn't the same sessions. Today, for my pressing work, I only did 4 sets of main presses, where usually I probably do six and stuff like that. And then I might work up to a max of seven, and then I just go from there. And it should be like a sliding scale. It shouldn't just be like I do this many sets, and this is my plan. So yeah, that's that.
Cool. That's all the
Cool.
questions. Well, actually,
Hmm.
sorry, I got one in the DMs.
Okay.
Real quick one. If you'd coach someone for the majority of a prep, but they left in the last 2 weeks before the show, went to another coach and won a pro card, would you count that as your pro win? And vice versa, if a client comes to you in the last 2 weeks, are you claiming it?
I got a beef over this, but it wasn't a pro win. It was a second place PCA. Do you remember?
Who was it?
Eddie Sims. Do you remember he came to me and I put a post up saying like he wasn't in the best of spots beforehand when he came to me at 4 weeks out, and then he looked really good, and then his coach kicked off at me.
Right.
Uh, Even though I didn't say anything that bad, and that's still mental. He apologized afterwards, which is funny. But yeah, so second place. Yeah, I claim that second place. Clearly, the guy didn't want me to claim it as his second place. So yeah, no. If I'm gonna be honest, bro, if no matter who's listening to this, if you won someone a pro card and you had 2 weeks, like to work with them, you would put pro card in your bio. Anyone would. It's a pro card. It's fucking cool. But you probably would literally be like in the post. You'd be like, yeah, like I didn't coach him for the whole prep. He came to me and I just tidied things up.
Yeah, I
But
think it depends on the position they're in. If they come to
yeah,
you, they're in a great spot and you don't really need to do much,
yeah.
then I feel like
I'll
it's
be
less warranted. But if they come to you and they're in an awful spot and within 2 weeks you change it and
oh, yeah.
turn things around, then
I coached, James Cook, blonde haired
yeah,
lad. and
Magical.
magical 1 week peak coaching for literally like 5, 6 days. And realistically, there's not a lot I can do. But I know when I was sat next to his girlfriend, she literally said within one moment of him walking out, "Oh my God, he looks so much better. You need to do this for him all the time." And I laughed because I was like, it probably isn't a case of anything special. Obviously, in enhanced prep, there's a lot more tools to play with, and I definitely leveraged everything I could. But it was more so a case of like probably just again not stressing out, him not over assessing. He was coaching himself and probably analyzing every decision, checking out every single pose after every meal. It's like sometimes you just need someone to be like, "Yeah, man, you look cool," instead of like you searching yourself and looking for everything. So stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's one of those. Like, if it was like a 2 week and it was a huge transformation, yeah, fair play. But if they're in a great spot and all you've done is like basically like pushed them on stage, it's like it is what it is. Like Owen, for example, with you, he came to you what, like 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Uh,
looked good on stage.
no, it was like
But was Owen the kid who was doing the low calorie ice cream whenever he fancies it when hungry? Or who was that?
yeah, but that was on his program.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
no,
was literally
that's what I mean.
like
Yeah, that's what I mean.
half
His
tub
program.
of healthy ice cream if you're hungry. Um, yeah, I think it was 12. Was it 12 weeks when he came to me?
Yeah,
No, maybe it was like 6 weeks. It was, yeah, maybe 6 weeks.
yeah. And to be fair, like, again, I don't want to get in trouble, but like, I took on Amy when she was 4 weeks into prep, and she was coached by the same person who was, or she was being coached by the same person who coached her the previous year. And there was a little bit of like drama about, not drama, but it was a little bit of like, you're taking like basically credit for the work that we've got to this point because I never coached her in the off season, and it was like, well, yeah, but then you also like you've got enough time to really sort things out, and when you improve someone's look, it does happen. And like Amy's a fantastic athlete, but like there was a lot of things that I thought like she wasn't doing massively incorrectly, but you could definitely optimize things, and that results in those little percents pop up where if she was coached by the same person, would she have been the best? Maybe not, maybe so, but those things make a difference. And it's like the little things. Coaching isn't magic. Like me and Finn could sign up with a coach who has only ever had one person on stage, and they probably would still be able to get us pretty fucking close. But there's going to be a few other coaches who might be able to get us 5% better, and that's going to go from a third place to a first place and stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
like you would have if you weren't coached by AJ in your first show,
The one.
you would have won.
Yeah.
AJ intentionally knew that you were a threat to David, and even though you didn't finish second, you were close. So he thought, "I'm going to ruin Finn's peak. I'm going to give him that dandelions route or whatever.
Yeah, ruined me.
Get him
So
dry."
flat.
Yeah, you should have got on the post and been like, "Yeah, my coach." Like, it's funny. If that was anyone else, mate, and it wasn't you, probably would have done a post straight away and been like, "Wasn't full, so
Yeah.
flat, coached him."
The dandelion route.
Yeah.
Right,
Right, there we
that's
go.
that.
That's that. Yep, sound. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Finn, you need to make sure to upload the previous one because I don't think the previous one's up, is it?
No.
Cool. Right, sorry for the delay, guys. Finn has been ill and sleeping, so hopefully Finn is not ill and he can upload.
I'll make thumbnails, mate.
Yeah. Right, that's that. Bye bye, guys. See you later. Peace.